Warning! The zombie virus is not actually contained. What's up, Nikki, where'd you go? Everyone, welcome to the iZombie podcast for Season 2, Episodes 18 and 19, Deadbeat and Salivation Army. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my really short co-host, Nikki. Oh, there we go.
I didn't see the screen before. I couldn't adjust.
Apparently. And then Kim.
I'm actually pretty tall.
You're really tall tonight. There you go.
Okay.
How are you ladies?
Good-ish. I just want to say that I think they took the right step when they made the finale a double episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
Because if it ended the way it ended, I would have been really mad and had to wait next week for the second part, so.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I would have not been pleased about it. It would have taken the momentum out of it.
It would have. They flowed so well into each other.
Yeah.
And the information didn't seem fragmented. Our brains wouldn't have had to, try to piece them together. So it was all one shot. It was great.
Yeah. So, apparently the zombie outbreak is not contained to Seattle.
I wouldn't expect it. I mean, Utopium seems like, it's a drug that everybody would like to try. Some people might take it out of Seattle, because, they want their friends from another place to try it. And obviously, Max Rager being a soft drink, an energy drink, it's distributed all over the place. So the chances are there's going to be zombies in other places.
Well, it's not just
as many.
that. It's not just that. Don't be so close-minded and think of the Utopium. Think of a bite or a scratch,
a scratch, 'cause it takes a while
or
for a
sexual
scratch.
contact. Like that's the biggest one.
The trading of juices.
Yes.
Yes,
forgot about that one.
exchanging of juices.
Yeah. So.
Another thought that came up into my thought process was that, remember the beginning it was on a boat. Maybe not all those zombies, washed up on that shore.
Right.
There's other shores. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. In Seattle, it could have gone to Canada.
I think there was a mention that it's that far spread,
Yeah.
It's, there's little spots everywhere. So.
And then we got to meet this really badass, what we thought was a military girl, Vivian, working for Fillmore Graves Enterprises.
Their names are so awesome. Meet cute. Shady Plots. Fillmore Graves.
Shady Plots is just the best name ever. Just throwing that out there. Fillmore Graves, though, is great, too. It's like, these all the names sound like names that, like, Bart Simpson would say, like, to Mo in the tavern, like, through the phone. Like, is Seymour Butts there? Like, they're all names like that, Mm-hmm. It's absolutely great. But what'd you guys think of Vivian?
We didn't really get that much of her in the beginning. It was just like a conference call. It just seemed like she was really tough, like, strict military. It just seemed like expected.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't think much of her at that point.
Later
I was more interested in what the hell Vaughn was doing.
Oh. Yeah, I hate that guy. I don't know. He's such a douchebag. Everything he does is just, hey, I'm a raging douchebag. It's like, oh my god.
You don't have to worry about that much anymore.
I know shit. Thank fucking God. Asshole finally got his. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
About fucking time.
Yeah.
His whole family looks like it to be
Oh,
goners.
yeah.
Well, we don't know whatever happened with his wife. Did we ever find that out? Like,
I don't think
I
it was
there
ever
was
something.
A wife.
I don't think anything came up like that.
He had a daughter, so there had to be a lady friend involved.
A lady friend doesn't mean that he was married.
That's true.
Because he seemed to like the ladies.
He seems the kind of guy that would get married and fuck it up royally, and she'd leave, kind of thing. So
Maybe
Yeah,
she's the
it's-
one he got all his money from.
Could be.
Yeah. Trophy wife, and then she either left because he was cheating on her. That's probably what is going on.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, but not only did Vaughn go out in the end, but his daughter Rita did as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was surprised that she went all like super zombie.
Well, I mean, she wasn't from the first Utopian strain. It was the Lucky You, wasn't it? Because that's what they were experimenting with her.
Well, no, 'cause I don't think the strain itself matters. I think it's how it was activated. So, like, we saw the scientists in this. They snorted the Utopium and then they drank the Max Rager.
Max Rager.
And they went instant, or Supermax, I should say, which
Yeah, it was
is
Supermax.
different than what they did in the boat party. But they still instantaneously went into full-on blown zombie mode, the kind of which there's no coming back from.
Like,
That's the
super
same thing
zombie.
that happened on the boat, though. Maybe not as extreme with the zombies, but they were still full-on zombies, right?
Yeah.
Liv got scratched. So Liv is like second contact kind of thing, and then she was able to catch it in time to eat brains to prevent herself from going full zombie. So I don't think it matters in the form in which you were created, other than like what strand you pass on. So I think Rita was just the same as Liv. I think it came down to that.
She was just really hungry at that point.
Well, she had been locked up in
And
the cell
mad.
for how long?
Well, I would figure that he was feeding her, but part of it was probably just rage. You're a
Yeah.
fucking asshole. I'm gonna kill you. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Probably. So Max Rager had this big buyout, party, police themed, this whole thing. And Nikki brought up a good question to me before. She was like, does Ravi even know that it's the combination of Max Rager and the Utopium that created the virus? Because the Utopium by itself is harmless. Max Rager by itself is harmless. It's the combination of the two.
Well, what I found, didn't they use? I thought they used part of it to make. I don't know. I thought they did.
don't
They did
think
use
so.
it. Maybe not. Maybe that'll be the key to finding the actual cure.
Yeah, I think it's got to have something to do with reverse engineering that, because this is going back to like the original Batman movie with Michael Keaton, where the Joker was making products where they were passing through FDA tests because they were fine on their own, but then when combined, they would have these horrific side effects, and that's kind of exactly what this is. So, yeah. But meanwhile, the party goes crazy, and everybody dies, including Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Not Rob Thomas, the co-creator of the show, but Rob Thomas, the musician. because there is Rob Thomas. If you look on the title sheet, Rob Thomas is co-creator. It's not the same person.
Which I think is entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really interesting. I was like, when they heard the music at the end, I thought, oh, he's become a zombie, and like, oh wait, no, zombies ate his brain and
Yeah.
now can sing
Yep.
songs.
Yeah, I mean that was a great song to end the episode with. I think it was great, but I do have to say one other show that we cover, and I think Nikki will agree with me on this one. Legends of Tomorrow. There was a bar fight scene that was the same song was playing on the jukebox. It's like the first or second episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and it was done so much better. That scene with that song, it worked so much better in that episode, but
Yeah.
it was still really great here. So
Oh, and we got a Sleepy Hollow joke.
I,
I was like, bam!
even I giggled about that.
I don't think so much it was a knock at the TV show as it
No,
was just the legend in general.
Legend, yeah. But I mean, we all watch TV shows. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the viewers know about Sleepy Hollow TV show, and
Yeah.
they connected it that way too.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow just had its finale, so that made it even funnier for me. And, Kim's on that show with me, so I'm sure she'd love that reference as much. Absolutely great. But there was a couple times this episode where I was like, oh my god, Clive's gonna be a zombie.
Oh yeah, I was really thinking it was gonna happen. And then no, I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't, because it was like, but the whole part where Liv comes out to him and says, I'm a zombie, and then proves to him right there that she's a zombie. I was like, oh crap.
His face was priceless.
The only face in this episode that was more priceless than that was when Ravi and Peyton were making out on the couch and Major walked in and looked at them. Major's face was absolutely priceless in that scene. I had to go back and watch it twice because it was so good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So Kim, if you missed it by chance, you have to go back and just focus on his face.
It wasn't even just his face; it was the sound he made too.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about? When we find Ravi and
yeah.
Yes.
On the couch.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't miss that.
Okay.
I didn't miss that. That's because he was like, my boy's getting some. That was that face.
That was the best face spread across these two episodes. Like, that best face, hands down, Major. Great job. Yeah, but no, Clive. Oh my God, like, personally, I think it's too soon in the show's lifespan to do this, but they're gonna make it work, and I know they are. It's just, how is this gonna change the dynamic moving forward in the show now, where you had, Clive and Liv doing the buddy cop thing, and Clive's kind of in the dark on how everything's going, and now he's gonna be like, because I feel like he's gonna be doing less of the work now, relying on Liv, knowing, be like, well, I know how this works now, so do it.
I mean, it could go that way, or he could try to use less of her. I kind of have a feeling he's going to want to distance himself from her in the very beginning of the next season anyways. Because I found it really weird that, he had to accept it really fast because he was in a really bad situation, and I think that's what's actually going to cause him to want to distance himself from all of that.
I don't think he's going to distance. Like, I think the opposite of that. I think it's going to be more like the same with Peyton, when Peyton was like, okay, so let's do your zombie thing. So I think he's going to go, it's going to be more of that direction, and it's going to be a lot more jokes, more like zombie jokes and different things. Maybe, I don't know. I think he seemed to accept it a little bit. I don't know. You might at first get he might get goofy. He did just have to deal with an entire room of zombies.
Well, I'm thinking more of the way that, like, Peyton was trying to, like, push Liv along in the case a couple episodes ago, the stripper case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see Blaine being like, well, come on, have your vision.
Clive?
I know how this, or Clive, yeah. I know how this works now. Like, you just ate his brain. Do it.
There's always a possibility that might happen, but he was actively going to Liv because she was getting visions. He didn't know how they worked, but he was relying on her in that way. I don't know if it'll change drastically.
Right.
Because she was already doing that legwork for him.
There's that possibility, but I think, and this brings me more back to the TV show Psych, where you had Sean Spencer, who was pretending to be a psychic, and they all thought he was actually a psychic, and his psychicness was never 100% reliable because it wasn't real, but he was just, you don't know how it works. It doesn't work that way, and that's kind of like the mystery of how it works. So I feel like Clive couldn't rely on it all the time because it was just hunches. But now that he knows that it's actual seeing what they saw, it's gonna change the dynamic a bit. So that's what I'm worried about. And then you had his partner, Del Bazio. She didn't take that very well. Like and he just like, I'm gonna spring Major out and reasons.
Yeah,
reasons.
He didn't exactly. He fessed, but he didn't at the same time. He kind of avoided using a lot of words, but they were enough words for her to be like, "F you, I'm out."
Yeah. It's crazy though.
Her case was screwed, and that might cause. That's going to affect her job.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's understandable when it was someone she believes she trusted, and was behind her goes and all of a sudden just flips it.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we saw Major in jail, like starving, needing the brains, and like they tried everything they could to get him to him, giving him to his attorney, the Max Rager attorney, which was the guy from Veronica Mars, Vinny Van Lowe, you know?
If he only knew what he just ate. Oh, God.
Yeah, I just thought... gross.
Because, you know, for a few seconds, you see Major's face in complete, like, just like an utter just euphoria. And then he's like, wait a second. Takes a couple more chews and he's just like, my friend gave you this. Well, yes, but I ate the other one. Couldn't remember. And then it's all, and he's like, shit. Poor Major. And
then he almost got that milkshake.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you were arrested for the meet cute murder, and I was just like, oh, you know. But then Clive gets him out. All the cases are dropped, which kind of puts Major in an interesting spot because now he has a clean slate going into season 3. He doesn't have all these charges held up over his head. Like everything was dropped.
All the zombies, but a few from the ones that, well, the Chaos Killer had collected, are going to come back out into the open.
Right.
So, I mean, they can't tie him to that case anymore.
Right, and then that was interesting that, like, you had Ravi going in to try to get information on from Major, and it's like, yeah, that game we played, Zombie Town. Mm-hmm. I need to get to the frozen world.
The frozen zone. Yeah.
Where everything is frozen.
I like how, for a bit, Major had no idea what he was talking about. He just seemed completely oblivious, and then all of a sudden it was like, click!
Yeah. And I love that the actor that plays Ravi, he's so into video games and everything that, like, I feel like this is what he brought into the character. You know, I don't think this is the character doing this. I think this is the actor bringing some of his life into the character.
He's totally incorporated some of his nerddom into Ravi. That's a definite thing. I mean, just from the little glimpses all over social media that he does, it's definite that, like, I've mentioned this before, him and Major, Ravi and Major, a lot of their lines are ad-libbed.
Right. I mean, he even made a comment to Blaine when they were getting the guns and everything, and he's like, oh, well, I'm the top of my league in Call of Duty, you know, whatever, and I was just like, oh, man, like, it's not the same thing, Ravi.
It's not.
I mean, but you saw when he killed Vaughn's henchman, Janko. When he killed Janko, he was just so shaken up over it.
Oh, it's the first real life he's had to take. And he didn't want to, but it just happened.
Right. He seemed to get over it quickly enough. But do you think this is something that's going to hold him up going into future seasons?
I don't think so.
I think it will. He's a softie. I think after all this comes down and they rewind, they relax a little bit, and they get back to the daily grind, little things are going to remind him that he did this. And it's going to take a toll on him, but I don't think it's going to be, like, super detrimental and, put him in a corner or a straitjacket or anything like that. But it's going to affect certain choices.
I think it's going to be more the Peyton Blaine stuff that's going to affect him more than anything. I don't think that the whole accidentally killing this dude is going to affect him. I think that's all out of his brain at this point, because right now it's like, I don't know, did he know that Peyton and Blaine had, been a thing?
No, he knew they were working together.
No, he did.
Did he?
He did.
He didn't get confirmation?
Did he, or was Major? I don't remember.
Which
one was the one that said that I was spared all the details?
That was him, but he didn't get the details until they broke in. We're like, I'm taking Blaine's girl, and then he's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So I don't think he knew until that moment when they stole her to try to get a hold of Blaine. So, and then then Blaine goes running in there and as a blaze of glory with the freaking
hero hair.
With the hero hair, the night vision goggles, and then Robbie comes in and they're all like cuddling.
Oh, he was consoling her.
I know.
They were canoodling.
They were canoodling. That was the word I was gonna use. But in Ravi's brain, it's they're shit.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
Blaine's the hero right now, and I'm standing here looking like an idiot.
Yep.
I for a quick second I thought that Blaine was acting like he still forgot, but you could see like glimpses of him getting his into the old daily grind where he seemed really comfortable around the brains and comfortable around the guns, and he didn't seem like he was faltering that much. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I still think he's got a little bit of that amnesia, but I think it's actually coming back.
I was thinking that too. We were getting a lot of the old Blaine. I was
Mhm.
feeling with the whole, especially when he made that joke about using Ravi as a human shield.
Yeah, there was a lot of sass that we hadn't got the last couple episodes that was coming back.
Yeah.
Right, and that all goes into like how much of your memory affects your personality. It's like that whole kind of like if you took one person and put them in a different environment, would they be the same type of person, growing up? So it's like, without Blaine taking, he made a lot of hero choices in this episode without his memories and the way he grew up and dealt with, the stuff of his father and all that stuff. Without all that, would he have been a villain? So I feel like we're going to get more of Hero Blaine going into season 3 now. And then we're going to have a conflict when his memories come back.
That'll be interesting.
That would be interesting. I hope they take that route, because that would definitely be to see Blaine in a whole other opposite
Yeah.
thing.
It'll-
not,
I
not be the
mean-
villain.
It's going to be so weird to see David Anders play a good guy.
Exactly. I was just gonna say. I mean, it'll be like a bazillion kudos to David Anders, because that's a role I've never really seen him in.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
he plays a
to
good
play-
villain.
Yeah, he's always been a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be nice to see him break the mold.
Yeah. I mean, his whole meet cute operation, like whatever you want to call the new thing at Shady Plots, like that kind of got blown up. Like, not only was he not running it, but you had what's his name, Donnie and Chief, running the place. Chief's dead now.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, they went straight for his head. I was like,
Mhm.
well, they're not coming back from that.
And-
Bye.
Yeah, but then
Kinda sad.
Donnie kind of talked his way out of that death.
He did.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, go ahead, just shoot me in the head, so it's quick and I don't feel pain. I don't like pain." So the guy shot him in the gut. He's like, "I hope you like your pain."
No,
It's like, well.
It seems to me that Mr. Boss has no knowledge of zombies whatsoever.
I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't.
Because he's like, how is he still alive? We slit his throat.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how much longer Mr. Boss is going to be out of the...
No.
Oh.
As soon as Fillmore Graves, as soon as that takes hold and really starts running shit, Boss is gonna be like one of the first people dead next season. I hope.
Like,
I don't know, Mr. Boss is really the one thing kind of tying all the seasons together right now. Because he was running, he was running the Utopium deal. Like, he was in charge of Blaine. He's now a huge part of season 2. He's what's gonna connect everything in season 3. Yes, we have the whole like military operation zombie people to deal with and what their plans are.
They plan to make a whole like conglomerate of zombies in Seattle, so it's a possibility
Yeah.
they might
I don't
work
think it's
with
just
Boss.
Seattle. Like, they want Seattle to be
no,
the capital.
The capital. I was getting to that. They want to make that the center, the main for the zombies. And since, Boss has his hands in the Utopium and they have Supermax, there's a chance that they're going to be working together.
Yeah.
what happens when they run out of humans?
Be like the Matrix. They're gonna have to start growing and breeding their own.
Like cattle.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's machines that grow children.
They have like human farms.
Human farms.
It's exactly what the
farms.
first Matrix was. You guys not remember?
I don't care about that movie. I saw it in theaters when it first came out. That's probably the only other time I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen all the Matrixes, but it's been a while.
Well, you remember all those towers when Keanu Reeves was like birthed out of the pink goo?
Yeah,
Oh.
And he,
because
like-
it's a yeah, they have like a
Yeah, they're all like, they have them hooked up to machines, but they're in like a feeding pod. Like,
Right.
yeah.
I'm getting back really bad visions and flashbacks.
Yeah, so it's
of
like they were literally
Neo.
growing them to keep them for their computer program. So that may be where, not exactly to that extreme, but that may be, something zombies have to do is like a zoo with humans in it, and endangered species, and grow and breed your humans. I mean, if it gets to that point, but that's still quite a couple seasons away.
yeah.
That's
But then,
that's decades. I mean,
yeah. There's still billions of people that are not zombies yet.
and there may be people out there that are immune to whatever just happened to these people. There's a possibility that some people just won't turn.
That'd be interesting. That's how they end up making the cure. Is from someone who can't be turned.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Utopium is going to be a big part of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that one little key factor is something that Robbie does not know about and hasn't been able to prepare for, to put into the cure.
You need the Max Ranger.
Or yeah, the Max Ranger.
You said
And
Super Max.
I don't think he's gonna find out for a while because those zombies that turned didn't get out of it. They were killed.
Yeah.
And even if they could have came back from what they turned into, I don't think they would remember.
I was sitting there going, they're not going to be zombies. They're going to be like were-terriers or something. Like, I'm still waiting for them to add were-terriers into the lore of this.
or all the
I
other.
I can't wait because the person that's gonna come across this were terrier is either gonna be Ravi or Clive, because both of their reactions would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the other. We know that there's other stuff in this world, so
Hmm.
we still have not seen any of the other things that are supposed to,
I feel like the show doesn't need to go into that until they kind of expend
Yeah.
everything that they need to with the zombies.
Because
Yeah.
they get into the soul part of the story, which is oversouls, undersouls, all these different kinds of souls, which makes molds and different zombies and different supernatural entities. And it's
Right.
like, we don't need that right now. We're still kind of like a crime episode, day by day, monster of the week kind of thing.
yeah.
So,
No, and they're doing good with it. There's nothing
They're
wrong with
doing
it. But it'd
amazing.
be, yeah.
They are, but I feel bad for Liv. It's like this whole time, Liv is like everything she goes to love just falls away. Like she lost I don't even remember his name now in season 1.
Liam?
Liam. In season
Was it
2, yeah, well, I mean,
Shot in the head.
pre-show she lost Major. Then Liam, and now Drake, yeah.
By her own hands.
Yeah.
That's gonna take a toll on her.
And then Major felt like shit because he didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if he knew that was Liv's boyfriend, he wouldn't have taken him.
No. He's gonna feel
No.
responsible. You're gonna get a bunch of guilt stuff with Major.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this also could bring them closer together. Could bring
I
them.
mean-
Maybe.
Maybe.
He didn't take the cure. He was really asking for it when he was in jail.
Yeah, he's a zombie again. They can have zombie sex.
Sure.
Remember that was the big hurdle forever, was the fact that they couldn't have sex.
Yeah.
She's a zombie and he's not.
Does she have zombie children?
I don't
What?
think it's.
No, I don't think
I don't think it works that way.
No?
There's not enough blood circulation to get things to work properly.
Remember, she's technically dead.
I mean, they have a very slow, like their blood pressure's really low, so they do have a pulse, but it's not enough to keep organs like that to hold a new entity inside their body,
Maybe.
a new being.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just interested, with everything that's going to go on with them, everything that's going to go on with the military operation, the capital, and like what that's all going to come down to. But the one thing that's kind of like a loose end that was kind of swept under the rug was Natalie. And she was mentioned this episode that Major promised that he'd be the first thing she saw when she woke up. Mm-hmm. And then Max Rager took her and she never returned. So it's like, where did she go? She was
they
the
didn't
first
say when they took her, right?
She was the first one that they took.
The first one.
From that whole group, she was the first one, so it seemed like she was going off in like some crazy experiment testing. And then the other two that they took, or three, because what's his name?
No,
Drake.
Was
Drake was the third.
Okay, he was the third because of Natalie, but I mean,
yeah, remember Lucky 3? That's my number.
Yes. Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we never did see Natalie or what happened to her or anything.
No, they said they took her when they first got there, right? And then there were 2 other zombies in the tank, and they said when they came in, and they said, which one wants to be lucky number 3 to try the cure? So that means she wasn't taken for the cure. She was taken for some other reason.
I mean, when Drake was in the tank and Liv was talking to him, there was only one other zombie in there with him.
There was a male and a female, initially. And then Drake came out. He was number 3. Because there was a female already in one of the tanks, and then they brought the other guy in, and they all watched him drag that guy in. And then they're like, who wants to be number 3?
So when they released that zombie and Drake onto Clive, what happened to the other one? Was it moved to a different room? I'm guessing, because there was only 2. There was the one and Drake, and those 2
Yeah, that's all I saw were the 2, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember. But there was definitely one in before they brought the one in
I remember.
to take Drake. So Drake was number 3. But Natalie, they never said. So she's got to be somewhere else. They took her for another reason. And I want to know what they're experimenting on her with. Because the story of Supermax is not over. Just because Von de Clark is gone and because Rita's gone, Valerie is in charge of this now. Or not Valerie. Vivian.
Yeah. I think she knows about the combination and what happens when you take Utopium and Max Rager.
Probably.
I think she knows about it, and that's why she bought the company. Because then she can control the population of zombies.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys looking forward to the most going into season 3?
Oh, gosh. It has to be Clive for me, because he's new to this whole world. He's got to learn to accept it, and how he has to change his life in order to work past the problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Liv came out to him. You saw how surprised he was, and he was just like he didn't believe it, and then he had to go through all that trauma. I was sitting there like this the whole time, because I mean, I can handle them going full on zombie or however they want to call it, raging out. I don't care. But when it's actual snarling, jumping at you zombies, I don't do so well.
Oh yeah, like right in the beginning when they first, okay, so in my brain, they knew that that's where that Utopium came from. And still he's like, I guess I'm drunk and retarded. I can't fucking think. You're a goddamn scientist. You're retarded. And he snorts the shit and then takes the Supermax, and it was like an instant, I'm a zombie. God, I want to smack you in the face.
And it's not like it was they didn't all do it like, this guy did it and then this guy did it. They did it all at the same time. So it couldn't be like, you snort the Utopium, you see the guy turn, you go, oh shit, I am not drinking this. Goodbye.
Just be lucky that party was police lockdown themed. Otherwise.
Oh, yes.
Oh shit.
And that one guard.
I love him for running.
I'm sitting, so I was watching this with my other roommate Adam, and we're sitting on the couch, and he's like, he got up and he went, Yep. There's no pay worth that shit. And I said, yep, pretty much.
He just ran.
Yeah. I mean, he was going to when he saw people at first, and just regular people, but then he started seeing like scratches and like, you know, and, like, disfigurement and blood, and he was like, and then he saw the snarling zombies, and he was just like, I'm outie.
Yeah.
But like I had like the best like there's a lot of good scenes in that whole part, but I like the very first part where all of a sudden you just see leaping zombie, boom, and I'm like,
Yeah, when all the security guards were, aiming at Major Liv and Clive, and they're just kind of like, uh-oh, and then all of a sudden, zombies from above.
Yeah. So Kim, what are you looking most forward to going to season 3?
oh my god, I don't know. There's just so much from like just from this episode that I mean, this whole military stuff is interesting how they take that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, she was very adamant about are you with this or are you against this? So what Liv decides to go with in this situation, should it be more tied up in with the zombie stuff and how is their Clive and hers how is their little group, their little pack, and they're little doing their stuff, and how is that going to tie in with the military stuff now? And
Yeah, because Vivian's really interesting because she's so calm and like collected.
oh yeah,
And such a
I
badass.
she's badass.
I love the Mary Poppins amount of guns that she was pulling out of who knows where.
I know, that was the best scene. She's like, "Here, have some guns," and then she's like, "Bloop bloop bloop," bloop. And I'm like,
Well
"What
then,
the fuck? All right.
do you really need all these?
Do you have?
I'll
do
be
you have a gun in
fine.
your- I'm like, do you have a gun in your bra too? And it's like, I'm only waiting for her to like have guns in her, like a knife in her side, and just all kinds of. Just
That's
a walking
why
out,
I brought
so
up the
armed
Mary
by
Poppins
herself.
amount of guns, because
Yeah.
it just kept like, it felt like she just kept reaching in that bag and pulling more out.
Yeah. Oh, for me, the most interesting thing going into season 3 is Blaine, David Anders potentially playing a hero. Like, it's something I've never seen in all of the shows. Like,
Yeah.
usually he'll do something to try to redeem himself, and he'll go out in a blaze of glory. But that's the very end of his character. And this show does not feel like it's gonna let David Anders go. So I'm not worried that now that he's kind of playing the hero, that he's on the chopping block. So I feel like he's untouchable in that regards, because they'll do the hero thing, and then when that gets boring, they'll just be like, "Pff."
He got his memories back. There's
Yep.
the conflict. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part that's interesting when it comes to Blaine's character right now. Going into season 3 is that eventually he's going to get his memories back. There's no way that's not going to happen.
Yep.
So it's that mesh of the memories and his feelings and how he's going to act on them.
Yeah.
That's going to be the interesting part.
And it's just crazy that this whole show, like the changes that the whole show has gone through, not just, Blaine, his character. Because, like, you had season 1 start as a spring-summer show. It was in, it went from March 17th to June 9th of
That's why we
of last
picked it
year.
up, because it was part of the slow part of our season,
Yeah.
our recording, and
And then they moved it.
And then
And then they
that season was 13 episodes, right?
Yeah.
And then we're in season 2, which
Short.
started in October and ended, April 12th, 2 days ago at the time of recording. And that had a 19 episodes.
Mhm.
Like, they put on a significant extra amount of episodes.
Yeah, this show grew a lot. Not just
Oh, yeah.
in length and all that. It's just, I was almost like, up to the finale of last season, I was like, yeah, it's an alright show. I don't know if I'd want to talk about it again. But the finale, brought me back in. And now, iZombie is in my top, like, I think I said top 2 because I'm actually, it's one, it's tied for first and second for me at this point. Because
What's your first?
it would be The Flash.
Do you remember how bad I yelled at you to start watching The Flash, and you put
Yes.
that off for how long?
Yeah. But that's just because I was watching so many other things.
Right.
It was when I decided to, step away from some other stuff, and I picked up some shows. So
Right. Yeah, so I'm actually hoping that season 3 is gonna flesh out and do a full 22 episode season. You know, instead of a 19. 19's a weird number to end on.
Well, it's on the CW, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
all the other CW shows are at that point.
Yep.
So
It's only 3 more episodes. You know, they went from season 1 to season 2, adding 6 episodes. If they go from, you know, season 2 to season 3, adding 3, I mean 3 additional. I don't think it'll be too bad for them.
No.
They could pull it off.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, when Major was arrested for the meet cute murder and stuff that went down, I was expecting Liv's brother to come out of the woodwork. Because we haven't seen really anything of her brother or her mother for a very long time.
That whole storyline with the family just like dropped off and went nowhere.
I would love to see her brother come back at least.
Yeah. Well, typically, if you look at trilogies, like movie trilogies, book trilogies, and everything, the third act usually comes back around and deals with things that were buried from the past. So, family stuff seems like a good tie-in for season 3. So
It'd be something different to bring back that we haven't seen in a while.
yeah.
Well, we know
I definitely think that's one aspect of the show that is missing is that for sure.
Well, we don't have to worry about Major running around the dark trying to hide things anymore. So
No.
we'll be seeing more probably connection between him and other characters.
Yeah. Him and Ravi and him and Liv.
Probably him and Clive as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be buddies now. Not that they're not like running from each other.
I want to see more Peyton Blaine.
I want to see some more Ravi Peyton.
Oh,
See,
that's
like that-
that's a weird triangle going on right there.
that's a
Oh,
weird
boy.
I
triangle.
want to see some more Ravi Major.
That's good. Whoa.
Not that way.
just playing Diablo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, Robbie's a good old wizard and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. So next week there is no episode.
Nope.
So there's no synopsis.
This is the finale.
Yeah.
We've got to wait till next season.
Which
So
has
next fall.
officially been picked up for. So we know that's coming. No worries there.
Nope. I mean,
I really wasn't worried anyway. The show is
even if
really awesome.
we'd had no news that season 3 was coming or whatever, the way that this ended would totally tell me that there's a season 3 coming. They
Yeah.
can't just end it on that. There's no way. I'd rage. I like
Right.
a zombie, but I'd definitely get mad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think that's about it. You have anything else, Kim?
My nose did some weird shit.
Okay. Well, Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Excellent. Kim, where can the people find out what the fuck just happened to your nose?
On the Twitter at HUFFITY, what the hell is that?
It's my big man. It's my pet.
You could.
I don't even know.
Down there. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and YouTube /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next year.
Boop. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye forever.
No, not forever.
No, not forever.
Oh.